well, that was really good, wasn't it? I've still got my skates on, loving it.
Just get your heart straight up, doesn't it? You're roller skating.
Yeah, tell you what television, eh?
Still got 'em on.
As restrictions lift, we're able to now meet outdoors. So what better way to celebrate than a yummy summer dessert?
Yes, Edward Hayden has the perfect dessert for us today, and one worth waiting for because we haven't seen you in the flesh in so long.
There you have it. Yeah, this is gorgeous. And now, I mean, we've been given this little bit of respite whereby people can meet up in gardens, or the vaccinated people can meet in households. So now I think, you know, once the weather gets a bit better, never before were the gardens and yards as whitewashed. So I think people are going to be looking forward to meeting people and having little summer soirees. So this is the ideal option for that. It's a gorgeous meringue roulade. I've got some beautiful rhubarb compote in there and some lovely Greek-style yogurt. So I'm going to plough on. There's a bit of making on it, but it's very simple. So what I've got here, just before we started and came on air, just to kind of speed up the process, I've put 4 egg whites in here. Make sure your bowl is scrupulously clean. If you've got a plastic bowl, sometimes the older mixers have the plastic bowl. I sometimes cut a lemon in half and just rub the inside of the bowl with a bit of lemon, and that just cleans it. Not saying that the bowls aren't clean, but the plastic can tend to harbour a little bit of grease.
That if there's any detergent left on a bowl?
No, a little bit of the grease just doesn't work with the egg whites, so they don't tend to aerate or kind of swell up as well. So that just helps to kind of get them really well beaten up. But scrupulously clean. Any of the fat or any residue will deter them from doing that. Then what I've got is I've got sugar. So I've got 8 ounces, so 4 egg whites. Then I've got 8 ounces, 225 grams of sugar, which I'm just putting in. Now you can see I'm not kind of pushing it in too slowly, but I'm not throwing it all in one kind of burst. And I'm just making sure that that's beating well there between each addition. And that's basically it. That's your
amazing,
simple meringue.
So
that
quick,
is your simple meringue. Very quick. Now, just bear in mind, of course, Tommy, that I had it maybe for 4 or 5 minutes in a good, robust mixer before you've joined me. Yeah. You know, that sort of way.
Well, that mixer?
Yeah, with this mixer. Okay. So it's important to make sure that you've got the whole egg whites really well beaten, and then add the sugar, because you can see we've got a much glossier, much shinier mixture. And of course, the usual meringue test then is that upside down thing.
New hair.
I was going to say, Karen, this will give you an upstyle to die
for. Who needs hair dye when you got that?
Bit of lacquer. Now, onto a tray then. I've got my tray here, and what I've got here is I'm just going to pour all of that onto the tray. It will only take whatever shape you give it, so you need to make sure that you give it its shape. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, it's not going to be like a Victoria sponge whereby it'll swell. I'll just throw that down there. And then I'm literally just going to spread that right the way along to my tray. The tray that I've got is a 13 by 9, which is your standard Swiss roll size.
13 by 9 and
13 by 9.
How many eggs went in again?
4 egg whites.
And 8 ounces of sugar.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay. So it's the simplest recipe to remember. You'll be able to tell people this on the street. Now, you'll be telling them all at the school gate this evening now, Karen.
Yes. Karen's secret recipe.
I've got some flaked almonds then. I'm just going to put some flaked almonds on top of that, just like so, and into the oven. If you don't have flaked almonds, put some desiccated coconut, put some pistachio nuts, put some hazelnuts on there as well, or even a little bit of chocolate chips could be just folded in at the last minute.
Pistachio give a lovely colour as well, don't they?
Pistachio gives a gorgeous colour, but think of pistachio, Karen, with a bit of lemon curd as the filling. So you can make this very versatile. The base of the standard is the same, and change it around. That's going in 150, 300 or gas mark 2 for 20 minutes. No more or no less than 20 minutes. Now, can I just tell you, after 20 minutes, you'll go to the oven, you'll take it out, and it will be almost like a souffle, and you'll think you're Mary Berry.
Yes.
And then it'll just kind of, over the course of time, it'll just naturally deflate, and that's allowed.
Can I ask you a question?
Yes, of course.
How do you get it sticky in the middle?
Now, again, the meringue like this, because it's basically partially undercooked, the meringue roulade, it's only going to take for 20 minutes. It will still be kind of that gooey sort in the centre. The pavlova, and that recipe will be used for a pavlova, adding in a teaspoon of corn flour and a teaspoon of vanilla extract, or half teaspoon of vanilla extract and a half teaspoon of vinegar. And then that's baked for much longer periods. That's baked for 130 and gives you that gorgeous, fluffy marshmallow centre.
Right.
Very, there's a girl did home economics.
I tell you what, I'm impressed.
Now, here what I've got is I've just got some rhubarb. Now, I'm just going to pop this. I have one I've made earlier, so I'm not too worried about that. So rhubarb there into my pot. I'm going to add a little bit of sugar with that just to sweeten.
And rhubarb is definitely in season at the minute as well.
Season.
Gorgeous.
And look how
Bang
lush
season.
your rhubarb looks there.
It's gorgeous. That's from my neighbour's garden, Anne Hayden, no relation, but my
Steal it
neighbour
off
at home.
for last night.
Yeah, there you have it.
Yoink.
If I had remembered to put a bit of water in my jug this morning, I'd put in 2 tablespoons of water in there. But if I hadn't, I'd just proceed without it. And that's basically it. Cook that for about 8 or 10 minutes, okay? And that's it. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to assemble this. So to assemble that, what I'm going to do is I'm literally just going to take a really nice clean cloth. Okay, I've brought you my hearts. I'll show you my hearts out there. I'm going to put a bit of parchment paper on the top, and then I've got my roulade that I've baked earlier. Now, again, with the least amount of care, just throw that out onto the tray, just like so. Peel off your parchment paper. If you were at home, you'd be getting your spoon, you'd be licking it, you'd do anything with it. Now, then I've got some of the Irish yogurts, Clonakilty, the low-fat, Greek-style natural yogurt is what I'm using today. So this would be absolutely gorgeous in here as well. They've also got like a flavoured yogurt range, would be fabulous. Yeah. So I'm going to use this instead of cream because I think the stewed rhubarb and yogurt is gorgeous. Think about having it with your granola.
Is the low fat just because you've got plenty sugar and everything else there?
It's for the optics, you know. I'm trying to kind of reconcile it in your mind and mine, Tommy. So
we're going
it's
flat
working.
out here.
Yeah,
I might as well go full fat. Oh.
Now, there you have it. Can I just say to you as well, spread that on like that. Can I just say, just bear in mind with the rhubarb, do it to taste. I like it to be a bit sharp because the meringue is nice sweet. You can see I just had a few raspberries and I just popped a few raspberries in there as well. And I'm literally just going to put some rhubarb. I don't have to make sure that it's all covered and I don't mix it too much because once we roll it, it will work. Now, very quickly, I'm going to roll this for you. Make sure your platter is at the end.
Oh, wow.
This
is the kind of the Pringles moment. Once you start, you can't stop. So you have to keep going.
So you've got 2 little rolls at the end there, right? Okay, this is interesting.
I have rolled it. I've my thumb and my forefinger to keep the parchment and the towel in place. I have my middle finger here to stop this from slipping. I'm then just going to roll it over once, make sure I've got the full roll, and then I'm just going to keep rolling, like Tina Turner. Yeah. I'm channeling it this morning. That's the theme. Perfects the shape at the end, and then I'm going to take my platter. And then I'm going to just take this. And this is a little bit like, I've said this before to people, it's like changing the bed, the sheets with someone still in the bed. So just pull out that. And then that's basically that. Now, if you wanted just to make it even more gorgeous, which I do, I'm just going to take a little bit of cream there on the top. And then you can see I've brought some gorgeous strawberries. And as I told you, I went out to the front door this morning and picked some beautiful violas. And I'm just going to pop a little bit of that on there. Always uneven numbers. So I'm going to put a fifth one. When you're decorating, yeah, it's always suggested. It just kind of optically looks a little bit better with uneven numbers. And I just love, I worked with a lady years and years ago, and if we were trying to shift the desserts at the end of the day in a kind of a self-service place, she used to get a whole punnet of strawberries, and she'd slice strawberries on top of everything. And she used to always say that strawberries sell. And you know what? They absolutely do. So I've got some lovely fruits, and then I've got some gorgeous, beautiful violas, which are edible. Picked from the front door of Casa Edward.
Hayden, look at that, isn't it great?
It's just gorgeous.
But just remember, if you're going to someone's garden, think about how well received, I mean, you'll be well received as it is, but how extra well received you'd be if you arrived with this in your hand.
Edward, right, it is time to put the kettle on because we have got, well, I'm looking forward to this.
We'll have a slice of this on.
We're going to have some of that.